So I've recently come back into the remembrance that my purpose here, my path here, is the path of the priestess. It looks a little bit different for everyone that walks this path, but for me specifically, my calling is to teach, to coach, to heal, to pour back into my community, to be of service to humanity. The path that I take to that, and the thing that is most spoken to my heart, is using prosperity, using abundance as a way to connect with God, connect with the divine. This can be a little confusing for those that have bought into the misunderstanding or the belief that having money is the opposite of spiritual, being money obsessed or seeing money as something that you actually want to intentionally pursue can be seen as a distraction from having a relationship with God or the root of all evil. You can fill in the blank with probably many different belief systems that you've picked up over the years around how money and God are not connected. I actually believe very differently, and I haven't talked specifically about this in a while, so I want to pop on here with you and just give you a new perspective if you've been struggling with the idea that you as a spiritual being, as a spiritual person, can also have a great relationship with money and there not be a lot of shame and guilt attached to it. So the way that I see money is as a spiritual tool. I see it as a neutral, unlimited energetic resource that is available to anyone who's able to master the frequency. There is so much abundance, there is so much prosperity. Yes, of course, there are people that are born into situations that are more perfectly positioned to be able to tap into that easier, or they have parents that already mastered that energy, and so it's easier for them to tap into that. But I've also come from, pretty and white privilege aside, I've gone through a lot of things in life, and being in an interracial relationship, have watched my husband go through a lot of things in life that would, in some people's eyes, deem us as not able to access abundance. And when I tell you I've been able to work with the divine in a way that I am now the highest paid person in my family on both sides ever, it is possible for you. It is 100% possible for you. And when I also tell you that I have never felt closer to God, closer to the divine, more in sync with my purpose than I ever have, the richer, the more wealthy, the more abundant I get. The reason that I believe that this is, and in my personal experience, is I see money as the hand of God in this current modern day society. Money is something that we have created as a collective, as a human. It's a game that we've chosen to play. However, currency and compensating people for things has been around since the dawn of time. There's always been an understanding that we are here to trade with each other, to take care of each other, and when someone does something for someone else, it is expected that there's some sort of compensation, that there's some sort of energetic exchange that happens. God is omnipresent. We know this. The energy of God, the energy of source is omnipresent. You don't have to look very far to find something that is a living being around you. However, that doesn't mean that just because God is omnipresent, that abundance has been equally distributed. What I mean by this is you probably don't have to look very far, even in your own community, to find disparities, to find discrepancies, to find a gap of wealth, to find someone who's struggling, to find someone who doesn't have as many resources, to find someone who has no resources at all. And so what I believe, especially as we are called to awaken and ascend and become good, conscious people that are genuinely concerned about the well-being of humanity, I believe that God, source, universe, wants to channel abundance, wants to channel prosperity, wants to channel resources, energetic resources in the form of money, to the places and people that need it the most. I believe that the closer that I've gotten with God, source, divine, the more work I've done in this space, the more I've helped my clients heal their money blocks, the more work I've done in general with ascension and being connected with the land, etc., not only the more money that flows to me, but also the more freely I'm willing to give it, and the quicker I'm seeing things change in my outer 3D reality as a direct relationship to that relationship that I've curated with abundance. Meaning the more money I make, the better the world gets around me. The more money I make, the more resources I have, not only for myself and my family, so that I'm well resourced, so that I'm not giving from a place of depletion and exhaustion, but now I've been able to give back to my community in ways that I wasn't able to when I was struggling, when I was in burnout, when I was in perceived lack. God is abundance. God is prosperity. God is everything and all things, right? Like, there's such an abundance of energy in this universe that can represent source energy, that can represent God. Why would abundance monetarily be any different? Like, I feel like the more that we step into our prosperity and our birthright for abundance, the closer that we are, not necessarily money makes you closer to God, but it allows you to be used as a vessel more openly and more freely, because number one, all of your basic needs are met. So you're not operating from a place of scarcity. You're not operating from a place of like, well, I'm sorry, I have to keep this for myself because, I need to make sure that my family eats. It's like that. When I tell you, I don't even think about how my basic needs are going to get met anymore. That is not even a thing on my mind. I forget that I have bills. And it's not because I'm not the one paying the bills. It's because my relationship with money has ascended beyond, let me figure out how to meet my basic necessities. I'm in such a state of overflow, not only just financially, but mentally and energetically as well, that life is just operating and opening up for me in different ways. And that is what's possible for you too. Money is simply one of the reflections of abundance. And the interesting thing is, the more that you work with money as an energy, and the more that you understand that it's just one of the ways that God can funnel prosperity and abundance and resources and overflow, not only to you, but those around you, it actually opens your mind and your eyes to be able to see the other forms of abundance around you. It's really interesting. It's like, oh, this is so interesting that, yeah, Source could have given me money for this, but instead they gave me this really beautiful experience. Or they could have given me, this thing over here, but instead I got to invest my own money in it, but at a really cool discount. Or, wow, I was just thinking out loud, or I was just saying to Source, or I was just saying to my friend or my partner that I would really love to have a resource that looks like this, and then 2 seconds later it pops up on my feed as an option for me. Like, there's so much abundance and resource and opportunity that becomes available when you open your mind to abundance. And for us, because we love money, because humans love the game of money, when you're tapped into that frequency, it's just easier to attract like-minded or like vibrations. So like-minded people that see money as a blessing and as a tool and as something to have fun with instead of something to bitch and whine and complain about, you attract more opportunities that you just are so grateful for and absolutely feel like a match for, as opposed to being plagued with low self-confidence and all the things that can come with that. You are more resourced, and so instead of, oh my God, how am I going to pay the rent this month, or how am I going to pay the bills, your mind is open to being able to be in a space of more creativity, more aliveness, more joy, more gratitude, because your basic needs are met. And this happens because we choose to consciously focus on calling in more abundance. It's such this ripple effect of everything in your life getting better. And it's not because money buys happiness. It's because the frequency that money exists on, that you tap into while you master the abundance frequency and energy and vibration, opens you up to all these really beautiful opportunities and experiences. So if you've made it this far and you're super interested in what I'm talking about, and you would love to work with money as an energy healing is the way that I lead my clients through clearing out their energetic blocks, limiting beliefs, self-doubt, etc., to help you rewire not only your self-concept, but your nervous system around receiving abundance. And if that is something you're interested in, you are invited to check the caption. I will leave my top 3 wealth energetics resources there for you. Let me know if this resonated. Let me know if you had some light bulb moments. And yeah, thanks for hanging out with me. And I hope you have the best rest of your day ever. Bye-bye for now.